Welcome back to Horoscope TV. Welcome to this podcast episode.
Thanks for having me again.
Oh, I am so incredibly excited for this one. Today, we are looking right at you, Libra.
We really are.
Yeah, we are focusing entirely on the zodiac sign of Libra for the month of June 2026.
This is a massive month.
It is. And you know, why should you tune in and listen to every single word of this? Well, because June 2026 is going to be a huge month of massive personal power, wild romantic surprises, career highs, and a few tricky moments where you will need all of your natural Libra charm to succeed.
Exactly. It really is a month of absolute extremes.
It really looks like it. So if you want to know exactly what is coming your way, you are absolutely in the right place.
I was looking forward to walking through all of this with you.
Me too. And before we get into the details, do you want to just quickly tell the listeners what your role is today?
Sure. So my role here is basically to analyze the astrological charts and the astro data for the month of June. We are looking at where the planets are, their specific movements, and what that actually means for your everyday life.
And keeping it super simple. Right.
Oh, definitely. We're turning all that astro data into a practical roadmap, no confusing terms.
I love that.
We just want to understand the forces pulling at you so you can actually steer the ship instead of, just being tossed around by the waves.
That makes perfect sense. So, I think the best place to start is with the idea of breaking free.
Yes.
Because looking at these charts, it seems like the month kicks off with a massive urge for freedom, right?
It really does.
Yeah.
Right on June 4th, the moon enters Aquarius.
Okay, and Aquarius energy is, well, it's very rebellious, isn't it?
Extremely rebellious.
Right. It's very focused on doing things differently. But for a Libra, someone who usually likes things to be smooth and polite and balanced.
The peacemakers.
Exactly.
Yeah.
How does a rebellious Aquarius moon actually show up in their everyday life?
Well, honestly, it shows up as a sudden, undeniable allergy to boredom.
An allergy to boredom. I like that.
Yeah, because Libra is an air sign, just like Aquarius. You both process the world through your minds, your thoughts, and your social connections.
Right. They're very social.
But Libra often carries a very heavy social burden. You are the ones who nod politely at a dinner party while someone tells a story you have heard, like 10 times.
Just to keep the peace.
Exactly, just to keep the harmony in the room. But when the moon, which rules your internal emotional needs, when it slides into Aquarius on June 4th, that polite filter simply turns off.
Oh, wow.
Yeah. The astro data indicates a sudden spark of joy that comes strictly from breaking your usual routine.
That makes a lot of sense. It's kind of like opening the windows on the first warm day of the year.
Oh, that's a great way to put it.
Letting the fresh air in and just shaking off all the dust of the usual routine. Or like you've been wearing a heavy, uncomfortable costume to a party.
Because it looks beautiful.
Right. And suddenly you just decide to take it off and put on sweatpants.
Yes, you just want to be comfortable.
You want to be around people who don't require you to perform.
Precisely. The charts show this deep emotional craving for interesting, unconventional people. You will not want to sit around making small talk about the weather.
No way.
No. You will want to call up that one friend who is always working on a strange art project or who reads bizarre history books and just listen to them talk.
Just to stimulate your mind.
Exactly.
Yeah.
Aquarius energy is future-focused and a bit eccentric, so the happiness you find right now is directly tied to how willing you are to step outside your normal comfort zone.
So I am thinking about how someone listening can actually put this into action on June 4th.
Okay.
Like if your routine has been waking up, going to work, hitting the gym, and watching the exact same television show.
Yeah.
You just have to disrupt that.
You really do.
Take a completely different route to work, walking to a coffee shop you usually ignore, or, better yet, start a new artistic hobby that you are genuinely terrible at.
Yes, just make a mess.
Right. Buy some cheap paints or take a weird pottery class. Just do it for the sake of laughing about it.
Taking the pressure off is key. You are not trying to create a masterpiece. You are trying to activate a different part of your brain.
Just having fun.
Right. And you are going to need that mental refreshment because as we push deeper into the month, the stakes get much higher.
Okay, so things get more intense.
They do. The energy shifts from playful rebellion to a very serious peak of personal power around June 21st.
Okay, let's look closely at June 21st because the astro data here is fascinating. The moon enters Libra.
Right.
And we also have the first quarter moon in Libra on that exact same day.
Yes.
That feels like a massive concentration of energy in your own sign.
It is an incredibly potent moment. The first quarter moon is a phase of action.
Okay.
It is the moment in the lunar cycle where you are forced to make a decision and push forward.
And it's happening right in Libra?
Exactly. So having this happen while the moon is actually in your sign means your sensitivity to your environment is going to be dialed up to an absolute 10.
Wow.
You are going to feel everything. If a room is tense, you will feel it in your bones.
You won't be able to ignore it.
No, you won't. If a relationship is unbalanced, you will not be able to pretend it's fine anymore. The charts are pushing you to make important personal decisions about your own life, your appearance, and your boundaries.
You know, I want to pause right there and challenge this a bit.
Sure.
Because the classic Libra archetype is all about the scales,
I
right?
guess. Balance.
Weighing everyone else's opinions, making sure everything is fair, keeping the peace. If a Libra suddenly starts making decisions based entirely on their own feelings, putting their own needs first, doesn't that go against their nature?
It can feel that way to them, yeah.
Because I imagine a lot of Libras might feel like they're being incredibly selfish.
Right, and the word selfish is often weaponized, especially against people who are natural caregivers or peacemakers.
That is so true.
But we have to look at the mechanics of what is actually happening in the charts. When you constantly adjust yourself to make other people comfortable, you are draining your own life force.
You're emptying your own cup.
Exactly.
Yeah.
You are shrinking to fit into spaces that are too small for you.
Oof. Yeah.
The first quarter moon in your sign is not asking you to become cruel or demanding.
Right.
It is demanding that you stop betraying yourself to keep other people happy, because protecting your own energy is the only way you can keep helping others in the long run.
So it is about recognizing that your own comfort and your own boundaries are just as important as everyone else's.
Precisely.
Which, I mean, it sounds so simple, but for a Libra saying, no, I don't want to go to that event, or no, I am not okay with how you spoke to me, that can feel like dropping a bomb.
It can feel terrifying. But the astro data is clear. Protecting your own energy is absolutely essential right now.
You have to do it.
You really do. If you do not stand up for what is fair for you, the resentment will build up and eventually destroy the relationships you are trying so hard to protect.
Wow.
This peak of personal power on June 21st is your cosmic permission slip to take up space. And it can be very physical, too. You might feel a sudden urge to dramatically change your appearance.
Oh, like chopping off your hair, or maybe buying an outfit that is way bolder than your usual style.
Exactly.
Because your internal self is demanding to be seen on the outside.
You are claiming your identity. But as you step into this highly visible, powerful version of yourself, you also have to be aware of the environment you are walking into.
Right, because things change again.
They do, because just a little over a week later, on June 29th, the communication weather takes a very messy turn.
Oh, no.
Yes. Mercury goes into retrograde.
Ah, Mercury retrograde. The famous troublemaker.
The one and only.
And looking at the charts, this one seems to specifically target the area that deals with your public reputation.
It does. When we analyze the charts for the end of the month, Mercury, which governs all the ways we share information, appears to move backward.
Right.
This creates a sort of static on the radio line. You might send an email with the best intentions, and the person reading it thinks you are being incredibly rude.
Oh, I hate when that happens.
Or you might make a joke in a meeting, and it lands completely flat, causing a very awkward public moment.
You know, it makes me think of trying to walk forward on a treadmill, but someone suddenly hits the reverse button.
Yes.
You are trying to make normal progress, but you just keep slipping backward. And if you try to run faster to fix it, you are just going to trip and fall flat on your face in front of an audience.
That is a perfect mechanical understanding of retrograde energy. The harder you push to explain yourself or fix the misunderstanding, the worse it gets.
The words just keep tangling up.
Exactly. So the advice from the astro data is to slow down drastically. Do not rush to make big public announcements at the end of the month. You need to think very carefully before you speak in public.
And we really have to talk about the internet here.
Oh, absolutely.
Because social media is basically a giant public megaphone. So if you are feeling frustrated on June 29th, that is definitely not the day to post a vague, angry comment online.
It is the absolute worst day for it. Because once it is out there, the retrograde energy will ensure it is seen by the exact wrong person.
Of course it will. So what should they do instead?
Instead, use this time to review. Retrogrades are excellent for looking backward. Review your long-term goals. Look at the progress you have made since that power peak on the 21st.
So reflect instead of react.
Right. And if a mix-up does happen in your public life, do not panic. you still have that natural Libra charm.
True.
A very calm, simple apology without over-explaining will smooth things over.
Just a simple, I think my words came out wrong, let's start over.
Exactly. It diffuses the tension.
Well, that's good advice. But while your public life requires all this caution and careful stepping, it looks like your private love life is doing the exact opposite.
Oh, completely.
Your romantic charts for June are completely wild.
They really are. The love forecast this month is a journey from sudden electric shocks to deep structural commitment, with a lot of intense psychological lessons in between.
Wow. Let's start with the electricity then. June 15th. The astro data shows Venus, your ruling planet, forming a connection with Uranus.
Yes, a sextile.
Now, I know Uranus is the planet that shakes things up, but how does this actually translate to someone's dating life?
Well, Uranus is the planet of the unexpected. It rules sudden insights, rebellion, and breaking the mold. And Venus rules love, attraction, and what you value.
Right?
So when these two form a positive connection, it acts like a lightning strike to your romantic life. It brings sudden thrills.
Thrills, like good thrills.
Yes. If you're single, this is not the time to endlessly swipe on a dating app looking for your usual type.
Okay, throw away the checklist.
Exactly. The chart suggests you are highly likely to meet someone completely unique, and you will meet them when you are not looking for them at all in a totally random place.
It is always when you are not looking. I am picturing someone like running out to the hardware store in their oldest clothes to buy a light bulb, and they end up in a 20-minute conversation with a stranger in the lighting aisle.
Yes, exactly that.
Or maybe you go to that weird pottery class we talked about earlier, and you reach for the same tool or lock eyes with someone who is just as terrible at making clay bowls as you are. It is a completely unplanned moment.
Unscripted is the perfect word for it. Uranus rewards those who throw away the script.
I love that. And does this apply to couples too?
It applies strongly to couples. If you are in a long-term relationship, the worst thing you can do on June 15th is your normal routine.
Oh, so no pizza and a movie on the couch.
Right. If you usually do that on a Friday night, that routine is going to feel suffocating. You need to break the rules and introduce surprise.
So tell your partner to get in the car, do not tell them where you are going, and just drive until you find a town you have never been to.
Yes. Or show up to their workplace with a bizarre surprise gift. It is about waking up the nervous system of the relationship.
Generating fresh energy. I like it.
You really are. But you must be prepared, because that light, fun, unpredictable energy is going to deepen and darken very quickly. Yeah, just 2 days later, on June 17th, we hit the most complex emotional day of the month. Venus makes two very different moves on the exact same day.
Wait, this is the fairy tale turning into a thriller that we talked about at the very beginning of the show.
It is.
Break down this timeline for us. How does the day start?
So the morning of June 17th is colored by Venus forming a beautiful trine with Neptune.
And Neptune is?
Neptune is the planet of dreams, illusions, spirituality, and unconditional love.
Okay, that sounds amazing.
It is. When Venus and Neptune connect positively like this, boundaries disappear. You feel an immense, pure, almost fairy tale level of romance.
Wow.
You feel like you can read your partner's mind. It's deep empathy.
That sounds like the kind of morning where you just lie in bed talking for hours, completely lost in each other, or connecting over music, or just having quiet talks. It is the honeymoon phase amplified.
It is gorgeous, and you should absolutely enjoy it. But there is a danger.
There always is.
When Neptune dissolves your boundaries, your heart is completely exposed. You are incredibly vulnerable.
Right.
And as the day goes on, Venus moves into an opposition with Pluto.
Oh, wow. And Pluto is like the heavyweight champion of the underworld.
That's a great description. Pluto brings in power, control, and intense fear.
Wait, so you get a perfect fairy tale in the morning and a massive fight over control by the evening? How do you survive that whiplash?
It's tough. You have spent the morning completely open and vulnerable. By the evening, that vulnerability triggers a survival reflex.
Because it feels too good.
Exactly. Pluto looks at this beautiful, fragile connection and says, what if I lose this? What if they betray me?
Oh, I see.
And that fear of loss instantly twists into intense jealousy, possessiveness, or a struggle for control.
That is such a profound psychological mechanism. Because the fairy tale feels so good, the fear of it ending makes you grip it too tightly. And the gripping is what actually ruins it. So a Libra might go from feeling totally in love at breakfast to secretly wanting to check their partner's phone or starting an argument over a completely innocent text message by dinner.
That is exactly what the charts show.
How on earth do you navigate that without completely blowing up the relationship?
The only way through Pluto energy is absolute raw honesty. The instinct when you feel jealous or insecure is usually to hide it because it feels embarrassing.
Right, you don't want to admit it.
You might act cold, give the silent treatment, or become passive-aggressive, hoping the other person will guess what is wrong and fix it.
Which is a classic Libra move, isn't it? Trying to avoid the ugly confrontation by just being icy and polite but distant.
Yes, but hiding the fear creates a toxic block. It ruins the magical mood and it gives Pluto power. The astro data tells us that to survive this, you have to bring the fear out of the shadows.
So you have to talk about it.
You have to literally say the words out loud. I am feeling really insecure right now and I do not know why. Or, I'm feeling this sudden wave of jealousy and I just need to talk about it without letting it take over.
Wow, you are naming the monster in the room.
Exactly. When you name it, it shrinks.
Yeah.
You talk through the jealousy without letting it control your actions.
You are not accusing them. You are just reporting the weather inside your own head. That is a brilliant strategy.
It works wonders.
And if you can get through that intense psychological test, it seems like the reward at the end of the month is incredibly solid.
Right. Very solid.
Because on June 25th, the wild ride stops, and Venus forms a positive trine with Saturn.
Yes. Saturn is the planet of time, structure, responsibility, and loyalty.
The serious stuff.
Exactly. After the sudden shocks of Uranus and the emotional depths of Pluto, Venus connects with Saturn and says, okay, I want something real. I want something that lasts.
Okay, so the astro data shifts from wild drama to a strong sense of duty.
Yes. The charts show a profound craving for solid ground. You are completely done with casual games. You have no interest in someone who is hot one day and cold the next.
You want the reliable, boring stuff.
Trust, mutual respect, and stability become your absolute highest priorities. If you are dating someone, this is the time when you naturally pull back and evaluate the structure of the relationship.
Like, does this have a future?
Right? Is this a
Yeah.
person I can actually build a life with?
It is the moment you make a serious commitment. Or, for couples who are already together, it is the moment you talk about building a home.
Yes, it's about building a safe harbor. And you will find that taking a very practical approach to love right now will attract someone who offers true safety.
I love that. And speaking of building a solid foundation, let's look at how this serious energy flows straight into your professional life.
Let's do it.
Because your career charts for June show a massive climb to the top.
They really do. The professional momentum begins immediately on June 1st, when Mercury enters the sign of Cancer.
Okay, and Cancer is a water sign.
Yes, and water signs deal with feelings, intuition, and memory. So this brings a wave of emotional and intuitive energy directly into your career sector.
Normally, the business world tells us to leave our feelings at the door, right?
Oh, constantly.
Be objective, look at the numbers, don't get emotional. But it sounds like these charts are telling Libras to use their heart at work.
Yes, in this specific transit, connecting personally with bosses and coworkers brings tangible success.
Wow.
When Mercury, the planet of communication, travels through an emotional sign like Cancer at the top of your chart, the charts show a strong ability to sense what the public wants.
So you can read the room.
You can walk into a meeting and instantly sense the unspoken anxieties of your boss. You can feel what a client truly wants, even if they cannot articulate it themselves.
That is an incredible advantage for public speaking or writing business proposals. You connect the project to how it makes them feel.
Exactly. But there is a very sharp double-edged sword here that we must warn listeners about.
Okay, what is the warning?
When your career sector is flooded with this much emotional energy, the boundary between my work and my feelings becomes very thin.
Oh, I can see that. If you pour your heart into a project and your boss says, this is good, but let's change the color scheme and rewrite the final paragraph,
Yes.
you don't hear it as a business edit, you hear it as a personal attack.
The charts show a high risk of taking constructive criticism as a deep personal injury. You have to be incredibly mindful of this.
So if a boss makes a minor edit on a project, your immediate reaction might be a defensive tightness in your chest.
Yes, but you must take a breath, step back, and logically remind yourself to brush it off. Business feedback is not a rejection of your soul.
Feel the sting, take a breath, and just make the font larger.
Exactly.
Don't go to war over an edit, because you really need to keep the bosses happy as you approach June 21st.
Oh, absolutely. June 21st is huge.
The sun enters Cancer, and a massive spotlight swings right onto your career achievements.
The sun illuminates wherever it goes. When it reaches the very highest point in your astrological chart, It means your professional life is on display.
It is like you are the star actor stepping onto the stage and the whole audience is cheering.
That is a perfect analogy. People in positions of authority are watching and admiring you. The Astro data says this is the perfect time to launch a business product or ask for a promotion.
You have the leverage.
You do.
Hmm.
And what makes you so uniquely qualified for leadership right now is your fundamental Libra nature.
Because Libras naturally weigh all sides. They balance opinions.
Exactly. In modern business, a leader who can balance conflicting opinions and ensure fairness makes a wonderful leader. Step fully into that spotlight.
But you know, there is a universal rule. Whenever you have a massive peak in one area of your life, the opposite area tends to feel the strain.
Always.
And the charts show a very clear work-home tug-of-war at the end of the month. On June 29th, a full moon happens in Capricorn.
Right. Now, Capricorn sits at the very bottom of your astrological chart. This area governs your private life, your physical home, and your family roots.
Okay.
A full moon highlights this area. It demands your attention. But remember, the sun is still at the very top of your chart in your demanding career sector.
So the sun is pulling you up toward the office, and the moon is pulling you down toward a peaceful home.
A profound tension arises. You are succeeding wildly at work, but your home life is suddenly flashing a warning light. The risk of burnout here is extremely high.
It is the psychological toll of being on all the time. When you are the star at work, everyone wants a piece of you. But when you get home, you are an empty shell. How do you solve that?
When we analyze the charts, it shows that setting firm boundaries is absolutely required to avoid burnout. When the workday ends, it must actually end.
No answering emails under the dinner table.
Exactly. The suggestion here is to build an emotional foundation.
Like finishing a home project.
Yes, finish a home project or spend time with family. You need that peaceful home to support your career success.
You cannot build a skyscraper on a swamp. You need concrete.
That's very true.
And you will need that strong foundation because the universe is about to hand you some massive financial blessings if you manage them right. Let's look at money and finance.
Let's do it.
June 9th looks like a genuine jackpot moment.
It does. We see Venus forming a stunning conjunction with Jupiter.
A conjunction is when planets stack on top of each other, right?
Yes, they merge their energies. Venus is the planet of money and beauty. Jupiter is massive luck, expansion, and abundance.
Wow.
And since Venus is the ruling planet for Libra, this lucky energy is very personal.
So how does this actually show up?
The charts show highly likely bonuses, large gifts, or profitable new clients. Massive luck for your career and bank account.
Okay, if the universe hands you a jackpot, you should celebrate, right? I'm thinking buy something beautiful. Maybe something pink.
Oh, definitely celebrate. But Jupiter loves to expand, so the urge to overspend will be huge.
So save a portion of it.
Yes. Remember to save a portion to ensure rock-solid future security.
Because the vibe changes by June 24th. The moon enters Scorpio.
When the moon slides into Scorpio, you feel a deep need to secure your financial future.
Okay.
The astro data indicates very sharp financial instincts. Scorpio is the detective.
So this is the time to review the budget, research investments, all of that.
Exactly.
Yeah.
Hunt down hidden expenses. And most importantly, trust your gut feelings on large purchases to avoid bad deals.
Trust your intuition.
Yes. If a deal looks fine on paper, but your stomach feels tight, walk away.
Which brings us to the ultimate test of patience. June 29th. Mercury goes into retrograde.
Yes, and Mercury rules commerce.
So what happens?
The brakes squeal. You see frustrating delays with paychecks or taxes.
It's like trying to read a receipt that got washed in the laundry. Everything is blurry and needs double checking.
That is a great analogy. The details become illegible. The charts give a strict warning. Do not sign a new lease, do not buy a car, or make huge risky investments.
Just wait it out.
Reorganize files and cut expenses until the confusing astrological weather passes.
Good to know. And, you know, financial stress can quickly become physical stress, which brings us to your health and wellness for the month.
Yes, the mind-body connection is huge this month.
The charts show a focus on clearing the fog and healing old wounds. Let's start with June 4th. Mercury forms a difficult square with Neptune.
A square aspect creates friction. It feels like a foggy, exhausting atmosphere.
How does that actually feel in the body?
When we analyze it, we see that mental stress from a busy schedule turns into mysterious physical aches and pains.
So you don't realize how anxious you are until your shoulders are burning. Your body is holding the hidden stress.
Exactly.
So the fix has to be simple. Get plenty of sleep, Cut down on caffeine.
Yes, do not overstimulate your nervous system.
Meditate and listen to calming music to clear the mind.
Gentle care is the only remedy. Because on June 19th, a major shift happens for mind-body healing. Chiron enters Taurus.
Chiron is the wounded healer, right? And Taurus is the physical body.
Yes, this transit is about healing past wounds and deep psychological transformation.
Okay, I have a question about this. How do old emotional fears actually get stuck in the physical body?
It comes down to your nervous system. When you experience emotional pain, your brain sends a signal to your muscles to tense up, to prepare for impact.
Like armor.
Right. But if we never process that emotion, the nervous system never sends the all-clear signal. The astro data shows old emotional pain manifesting as physical tension years later.
Wow.
So we recommend therapies connecting mind and body, like yoga or deep tissue massage, to release it.
And forgiving yourself brings immense physical relief too, right?
Absolutely. You must treat the body as a sacred temple.
And the universe brings a burst of healing energy on June 21st.
Yes. The sun forms a wonderful sextile with Chiron.
So you get the strength and motivation to overcome health issues.
The charts show a strong connection between a positive attitude and physical recovery. It is an excellent day to start a new workout or eat highly nutritious foods.
Speaking of positive energy, let's look at the cosmic toolkit. Who brings you the best vibes this month and who should you absolutely avoid?
Let's start with your best match. This month, it is Aquarius.
Yeah, I love that pairing. Why do the charts prove this?
Well, both are air elements, meaning you both have brilliant minds.
Okay.
And June 4th, when the moon is in Aquarius, and June 21st, the first quarter moon in Libra, these transits motivate both of you to create peace and socialize.
Oh, I see.
Plus, on June 15th, when Venus connects with Uranus, it brings unexpected romantic surprises directly from them.
That's fun.
June 28th, with Mars in Gemini, adds fun movement. And even on June 29th, when Mercury goes retrograde, the relationship is safe because you can talk things out calmly.
Because Aquarius totally gets your need for beauty, fairness, and freedom.
They absolutely do.
No, who is the worst match?
Scorpio is the worst match.
Oh, why is that?
The charts show a train wreck here. Libra wants light and polite. Scorpio wants heavy, dark secrets.
Especially on June 24th when the moon enters Scorpio.
Yes. And on June 10th, the sun opposes Lilith, which makes Scorpio jealous and bossy.
Libra hates them.
Then on June 17th, when Venus clashes with Pluto, it creates a toxic block in trust. And finally, on June 29th, with Mercury retrograde and the full moon in Capricorn, Scorpio brings up past anger.
Oh, wow.
Their demand for emotional merging feels suffocating to your polite nature.
It is like trying to mix oil and water while someone is shaking the jar. Just stay away.
Exactly. Protect your peace.
Now, what are the lucky charms for the month?
The color of the week, well, the month really, is pink.
Pink. Beautiful.
Yes. And your best dates are June 20th, 21st, and 24th.
Okay, so listeners should try wearing pink on those specific dates to attract the lucky energy.
Yes. And your lucky numbers are 6, 7, 15, 20, 21, and 24.
So use those numbers on those dates to tip the scales in your favor.
Precisely.
We have covered an immense amount of ground today, but before we sign off, I know you always have a final provocative thought for our listeners.
I do. Since the month ends with a heavy focus on the tension between your wild career success and your need for a peaceful home.
Right, that tug of war.
Think about this. What happens if your personal success actually changes your definition of what a home truly is?
Oh, wow.
If you are evolving so drastically, maybe the safest home you can build is just the peace you find within yourself.
That is incredibly profound. Libra, you will have to let us know how that feels as you go through the month. Well, thank you all so much for listening to this episode on Horoscope TV.
It was a pleasure.
If you want to make sure you are always prepared for what the stars have in store, please subscribe to the show so you can get notified the moment the next episode is available. See you next time.